Hello and welcome another week of the Taking L's podcast. I hope you're still dancing from the intro music that you just heard. Hey, if you are new to twerk it. If you're new to this, we are all about just kind of laughing our way through life, living life to the fullest.
Absolutely.
And we do like to acknowledge the fact that there's a leader inside of you. So we like to call that out. We even like to remind ourselves the leader that is inside of us. We do not think we are the experts. We don't have all the answers. Matter of fact, this whole podcast was birthed out of conversations that we've had for years and years about just kind of how to live life to the fullest, and even conversations that remind us of the potential of the great leader that's inside of us, not for the future, but today. So that's what this is all about. Thanks for taking time to listen, and today we're going to hop right into it.
Come on. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you like, do all those things. Even if you got a little extra time, give us a rating and a review. We'd love that a ton. So give us the title. What's the title for today's episode?
Today's title is I'll Get to That Later.
I'll Get to That Later. And we are going to do one of our favorite segments. We're going to do a draft.
Yep.
And there is nothing that I think I say I'll get to that later to more than chores. I don't think anyone likes chores.
No, I feel like if we were playing Family Feud and we asked a question, number one thing people procrastinate on, it would be chores or homework would probably be the
absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure. Also, we posted on our Instagram not too long ago, probably a couple weeks ago. We're asking people for their favorite episode. And someone commented, any episode that starts off with a draft, it just hits different. That's what they said.
Hey.
So
I love that.
This is for you.
About to hit different.
About to hit different. What it do?
Okay, so we are going to draft worst chores.
Yep.
So, end of the day, leave us a comment, post it on Instagram, whatever. We want to know which one of us you think drafted the worst team. So you're kind of voting for the best worst. Like who has the worst 4 chores that they've drafted on their squad of chores.
Squad of chores. How the draft works, we go every other. Here we go. Dylan, you got the first pick.
First pick.
You don't even have a notebook right now.
Oh, yeah. I guess I'm going no notebook on this one.
Wow.
Got it in the head, I guess.
Memory.
I don't know. Okay.
I'm nervous for you.
First pick I'm taking. I'm just going to go with my least favorite. As I talk to friends, people in my world, I think a lot of people don't like this one as well.
Okay.
I'm going to say specifically folding laundry is the worst chore. I absolutely hate folding laundry. I think a lot of other people hate folding laundry. It is just so tedious. It's so long.
Let me ask a quick question to producer Cody.
Yeah.
Do you hate folding laundry? Yes or no?
No. It's cathartic.
My favorite chore to do is folding laundry.
Same. Absolutely.
If I tell Carly all the time, hey, whenever you're done with laundry, please let me know. I would love to fold the laundry.
Wow.
So for you to do that as the number one, you're saying the Peyton Manning, if you will.
I mean,
the Cam Newton.
At the end of the day, like a lot of chores,
Kyler Murray,
a lot of chores are like, okay, don't do that. A lot of chores are like here, like chores are chores, but folding laundry, it's some people send me some
the LeBron James
of
chores. You're saying
I could be very wrong. If there's a bunch of people listening to this pod that love folding laundry, I'll be shocked.
Folding laundry is your number. Interesting. Okay,
it's the worst.
I'll go. Here we go. My number one worst chore.
Yep.
In the list of worst chores draft.
Yep.
Number one is doing dishes by hand. So not filling the dishwasher. I'll do that all day long. Love that. But actually washing the things that can't go in the dishwasher, pots and pans, baking sheets, stuff like that. My least favorite chore all day long. I know that you don't mind doing dishes. You do the majority of
that's
dishes.
What's hilarious. So me and my wife actually have a deal. I do all dishes and she folds all laundry because we hate the other one so much, and the other person actually kind of likes or doesn't mind the other one.
Cody.
I don't mind washing dishes by hand either.
Okay, well, you're just the perfect human.
God, like Annie's a lucky girl. Look at
I want to marry Cody.
Seriously, me too.
Good night.
Makes music, does all the chores with a smile on his face.
Yep. Also,
no one said anything about a smile.
Great dog dad,
Great dog dad.
Doing it all.
Great dog dad. All right, what's your second one?
I think you go back to back. I forget. Do we do snake draft on this pod?
No.
Okay.
We've never done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Taking L's podcast. My name is Braylon. Nice to meet you.
I always forget. Okay, so my second pick, I'm going to go a little bit like, if this is too big of a category, you can let me know. But I'm going to say cleaning the bathroom. Is that too big?
I'm going to need you to get more specific for sure.
So you're going to need me to get more specific.
That is what I just said.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to get more specific. So you're going to need me to get more specific. Yes, Dylan. That's what I asked.
Okay. So I'm going to say specifically cleaning the shower tub.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I hate that. So here's the thing. Typically we have guests coming over, you clean, right?
Yep.
But you don't clean the shower tub because you close the curtain. No one's going to see it. But you got to clean like the toilet. You got to
Not in
clean the
my
sink,
house.
all that stuff. Okay. I would say your wife is a very clean person, cleaner than most. The shower tub gets neglected, I think, the most out of everything in a house that can be cleaned.
Okay.
So when you do go to clean it, it is a chore and a half.
Yep.
It is a lot of work, and it.
Also, women have this weird ability to shed hair
Oh God!
to the level that I question how is there still hair on your head?
Like you're pulling a New York-sized rat out of the drain.
Out of the drain, off the side of the bathtub.
Yeah, somehow it ends up stuck against the side.
Like if I collected all the hair that's in our shower, I could have a wig company, I kid you not. Cody, is this real for you as well?
It's actually double
What's
real for us because it's
like,
me too.
This sounds like mean when you say it out loud like that.
It's not mean. This is mean.
Every girl would be like, "Oh yeah, that's real.
Yep.
That's real." I pull clumps of hair out of my head every morning when I take a shower. It's like it, and that is just pulling that out with some soap attached to it. Just nasty. And then because you haven't cleaned the shower in so long, you have to use a strong, powerful thing that probably has like some form of bleach or something in it.
Yep.
You're a modern day hippie, so you probably have some natural version.
Yeah, we don't use any of those things.
And it just like kills your brain cells while you're spraying it and using it.
All of our cleaning products are actually edible.
Stop it.
Yeah, the same things that we clean like our countertops with, we actually clean our fruits and vegetables with. My wife makes our own cleaning product.
What?
Yeah, true story.
Wow.
Yep. So that way, for my 8-month-old that crawls around and chews on everything and things, if he licks anything or you can spray it on his clothes, whatever, it's non-toxic.
Dang, that's awesome. We bought some like nice stuff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even clean the shower good enough. So you got to come in with that hardcore stuff.
My second pick, my first one was doing dishes.
Okay. By hand.
By hand. My second one is I have a little tiny backyard with a dog. Picking up dog poop.
Ooh.
Not like just add a little, when you're on a walk, picking up dog poop. I don't mind that. But like going to a backyard and doing like a large amount of dog poop pickup, it's pretty awful.
That is tough, especially because you have like the slider door where you just open up the slider and be like, go do your thing.
Yep, go do your thing.
Comes back. And then you realize 7 days later, like I haven't actually gone back there.
I pick up poop every Sunday afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's the Lord's day, picking up poop. That's
no Sabbath for me.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
What's your pick?
Okay, my third pick. This one would be one that would more pertain to people with a yard.
Okay.
Mowing the lawn. I highly dislike mowing the lawn. And here's the thing about lawns.
I love how much we're disagreeing with each other's list.
The lawn
It's
grows
therapeutic.
The lawn grows so fast. Like you can't ignore it. Certain chores you could maybe put off, but mowing the lawn is terrible. Cody, come on.
How good was your lawnmower growing up, though?
Terrible.
Well, there you go. That's the thing. If you got a good lawnmower, mowing the lawn is like keeping like a Japanese sand garden going. It's so good.
Nice. Cody's killing it. I feel like Cody should just take my seat.
Like keeping a Japanese sand garden going. Oh my gosh.
Growing up, we had a little front yard.
Yeah.
We had a push lawnmower. So not like a but just a push one.
Yeah, you got to be like a bodybuilder to use that thing accurately.
No, it was awesome.
The one that you push and it's got blades that actually cut it?
Yeah, and it spins.
Oh,
It's great. You just can't let your grass get to like a Jumanji level 14.
that's true. That's
If you
true.
do it every 5 days, it's a nice little push. You have your headphones in. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I just mowing the lawn, man. That's a struggle.
I don't think we've ever disagreed this much before. I like it.
Real.
Here we go. Number 3. Okay. I have dishes, dog poop. My third pick. Vacuuming the stairs.
Ooh.
Specifically the stairs. Vacuuming a flat floor, no big deal. But the stairs, it's just like, got to use the little side handle thing, and it's just a complete pain in the butt.
Okay. Here's the thing. I already know the answer to this.
Okay.
Do you have a Dyson cordless?
I do not have a Dyson cordless. We are going to invest soon
That's the
in
thing.
that. I just have to take out a second mortgage first.
We got a Dyson from our I think our wedding registry or something, and it would crush the stairs. It just gets around everything real easily.
We have one of those old school like plug-in vacuums. Remember when they made those?
Yeah.
Crazy to think you plug things into the wall.
Yeah.
So we had one of those that you like push with your hand, and it's not like controlled by an app, which is also pretty wild to think about. And so the stairs are very hard to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're saying if I had a better vacuum, I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah.
Very similar to us saying if you
Had a better lawnmower.
had stronger biceps, you wouldn't hate lawn mowing.
Oh my, get out of here. It's more just the fact of like how often you have to do it. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to it.
There's probably so many listeners disagreeing with everything we're saying right now, and I love that. That's why this is such a
That's
fun
why
draft.
the draft is fun, because you
great.
totally disagree.
This is a good one.
Okay, my fourth and final one.
Final draft. Here we go. Recap for us.
Okay, so I have number 1, folding laundry.
Yep.
Number 2, cleaning the tub shower.
Yep.
Number 3 would be mowing the lawn.
Okay. And number 4. Here we go.
Number 4 is, and this is again, it's one of those ones that comes around every now and then. I hate cleaning and organizing the fridge. Like having to take everything out of the fridge to like then clean it. And it's like, it kind of can get nasty in there, and like having to throw stuff away. And then all of a sudden you're embarrassed. Like, how did that stay in the fridge for longer than it needed to? Cleaning out the fridge is not like a fun experience. Think about the last time you actually like wiped out the fridge and cleaned it.
Well, I'll tell you, it was Saturday.
Yo, you guys keep up with stuff way better. Me and Maddie are terrible.
So we do one big shopping trip every week.
Okay.
We do it during the weekend, usually Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
And when we do that, when we get home, we clean out the refrigerator from the week before.
Yeah.
And I take everything out of the bags and I'm handing it to Carly as she is cleaning out leftovers from the previous week, wiping things down. So every weekend we do a full restart of the refrigerator.
Wow.
And a lot of times we're actually pulling out like a bag of unopened, fully organic spinach that we haven't opened that's gone bad, to like throw that away to make room for our brand new bag of organic
Nothing
spinach.
drives me crazier than that.
It's the worst. It's like that, and there's just a couple other like vegetables that we get. Mushrooms, we're always throwing out like bad organic mushrooms to like put in the brand new thing of mushrooms, and we barely even use them, but we buy them every week for some reason. So I don't necessarily, I'm not the one that's cleaning the refrigerator, but every week our refrigerator gets reorganized.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless your household. Cody, do you also clean the fridge with a smile on your face like you do everything else?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. We finally got Cody on one of them.
Okay, my fourth and final pick. Recap: dishes, dog poop, vacuuming the stairs. Last one. Washing or cleaning a big glass door, like a back door,
Ooh.
a sliding door. Any big area of glass is a pain in the butt to clean. Because if you don't do it right, you leave streaks.
Yeah.
So then it's like you can clean it, and then you look at it like 30 minutes later, and it's like, I just cleaned that, and it looks gross because I left streaks.
I really don't mind that at all. That's
Wow!
what is like a controversial draft, because there's just so much like neither one of us were ever like, oh my God, you took my pick, like everything else.
Which I kind of thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was prepared to have to think of things on the fly.
We would probably make great roommates because the other person was like,
We would.
oh yeah, like I like that. It'd be great trade-offs happening.
Did it this morning.
Yeah, for real, man. We were never roommates though.
I think this was our probably least exciting draft we've ever done as well.
Yeah. The guy that commented on our Instagram and was like, I love the draft. Is like, dude, that draft sucks. No controversy at all.
I don't love this draft. You guys suck.
But
My least favorite chore is listening to this draft.
That got me so good. Oh man. Well, that was our segment. We did a draft on least favorite chores to do. Comment on Instagram or something. Let us know which thought.
We'll have to do some stories this week to just see if what people like.
Yeah, I want to know.
We'll do some engagement.
We'll do one of those question things because I want to know what the chores are that other people hate. I didn't realize we would disagree this much.
I didn't think we would either. I didn't know that people are this opinionated even on chores.
For real. We'll put one of those question things out there, and I'm really curious to see what comes back.
I think actually all 4 of your picks are 4 of my favorite chores to do.
Do you know what's
Isn't
one
that crazy?
Do you know what's one I just thought of that I should have written down, but giving your dog a bath? Does that count as a chore?
Yeah, we can agree on that one.
That
That's
one's
the worst.
terrible.
If you like to give your dog a bath, you're a serial killer. Can we just say that? Cody, do you like to give your dog? Cody,
No
you
one
happy?
likes giving their dog a
No
bath.
one likes giving their
And
dog
Cody
a bath.
loves his dog more than anyone I
And
know.
Cody also smiles through everything. And if you can smile while giving your dog a bath, you have killed 4 people. Minimum.
I don't think anyone likes giving their dog a bath. So
No. You know who did? Ted Bundy. On to our L of the week.
So L of the week, I got it this week.
I just have this awesome picture of the Netflix documentary of Ted Bundy doing like a special episode of him just washing dogs.
Just wearing his like plaid pants, just with a big smile on his face.
And his Mariners t-shirt just washing different Labradoodles.
Giving a big 80-pound dog a bath, and he's just loving it. Like it just like the dog like shakes off all the soap and just hits him in the face, and he's just like, God, I love it. Like, is there anything worse than your nasty dog just deciding they're gonna shake and it goes all over your?
Well, the smell of a wet dog is worse than like the smell of like a sweaty 17-year-old boy after a basketball game.
Yeah, wet dog is terrible.
Wet dog is awful.
We have a golden retriever, and you like can't dry your dog enough. Like you just can't. Like you're getting wet dog smell. Dude.
My dog is 9 pounds, so we just kind of throw her in front of a hair dryer for a little bit, and it works great.
I tried doing the hair dryer on my dog, and he just started peeing. Like he was so comfortable, like he was kind of smiling.
So your dog's a perv, is what you're trying to say.
100%.
Speaking of Ted Bundy, man, you should change your dog's name to Bundy.
Cooper Bundy.
Oh man.
Well, this week on the L of the week. So one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to things that companies do is I cannot stand iPhones. Not when you first get an iPhone. I cannot stand what happens to your iPhone come year 2.
Okay.
Like, I think we all know this. We all like when you go and get a phone now from your phone company, if you're getting an iPhone or any kind of like desirable phone, they unless you're paying all cash for that phone, shout out to you if you can just afford to drop $1,000. You're probably making payments on your phone, right? So you go and get a new phone,
sure.
you upgrade, you're now adding like $30 a month onto your phone bill for the next 2 years to pay off this phone.
Yep.
And so you finally get to the point. So recently I finally get to the point I pay off my phone, and I'm like, I'm so pumped. My phone bill's going down. My phone's paid off. My wife's phone paid off. Our phone bill's down $80. Let's go.
Ba-doop.
Let's go. And all of a sudden, it's almost like Apple gets a notification in their email. It's like, bada bing, Dylan and Maddie just finished paying off their phone. Let's now make their phone suck as much as possible so they have to buy a new one. It's like,
sure.
no, it's so frustrating. It's like
a great conspiracy.
your like phone has a ticking time bomb. That's why I avoid like doing the updates on your phone. But then secretly you wait long. Like
You don't do those?
well, because the updates are made for the newest version of the iPhone, not for your phone. So it like messes up your phone a bit. But then eventually at some point in the middle of the night, it will just update automatically. And like,
That is actually very true.
it's so true.
At some point, you will wake up in the morning and your phone's updated.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you're on Wi-Fi, if you say yes, if you enter your passcode, if you have enough battery, no matter what, it will update.
Siri heard you make some sound in the middle of the night. Like, we will take that as consent to update your iPhone.
Siri and Ted Bundy, very similar.
Yeah. Cody, you got a thought on the iPhone updates. He's laughing.
I just completely lost it after the comparison to Siri and Ted Bundy.
You're welcome.
I recently changed my Siri to a woman with a British accent without telling my wife.
Mine has an Australian accent.
And I was like, hey Siri, FaceTime Braylon. I was like, no FaceTiming Braylon Oliver. And Maddie she's like, why did you purposefully go to your settings?
And
I was like,
question for you: have you ever been reprimanded by your wife for how much we FaceTime? Because I have.
Not like reprimanded, but like there'll be times you'll FaceTime me, and
wait, Siri! Oh my goodness, Siri has heard us say, "Hey Siri," and there are phones going off everywhere right now.
I'm so dead. Did anyone hear that?
I don't think because our sound quality is so good, thanks to Cody, our producer. But Siri is freaking out on the phone.
Okay, we got to stop saying her name.
Yep, we can't say it anymore.
No more.
That's awesome.
For the rest of this L of the week, I will refer to her as she who shall not be named.
Shout out Steve Jobs.
No, but my wife will you'll FaceTime me at like random times of the night, and my wife will be like, seriously, like what this time? Like not like she's like mad, but like we FaceTime about so many different things that she'll just like it's funny. I don't know if I get like reprimanded though.
I would say we FaceTime consistently a minimum of 5 times throughout the 7-day week.
Oh, easily. We have there's some days we do like 5-time days.
That is true. Yep. So 5 times in a 7-day week is actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Easy answer.
Yeah.
I have recently gotten reprimanded for it.
Yeah. That's every week's different though.
Every week's different. So back to your story.
Yeah. So Apple's got it out for all of us.
Yep.
I don't know if you're a Samsung user or something else. Maybe they do it differently. I don't know. All I know is when you hit your 2-year anniversary with your iPhone, they got it out for you.
Boom.
And so I recently hit my 2-year anniversary of my phone and it just starts struggling. And the thing it's been struggling with the most lately is my charging port.
Okay.
So when I plug in my phone, it'll give me the little charge signal. And I think like most other people, we charge our phone at nighttime when I'm going to bed. So I wake up and I have a fully charged phone. So even this happened to me today. I wake up and I look at my phone and I was like, why is this phone not charged? And so I start thinking I'm going to buy a new phone charger. I'm going to use a different phone charger. I think like other people, you got like a few different phone chargers around your house. So I'll start using different ones only to find out my charging port. You have to have the charger plugged in the right way or else it doesn't actually connect. And it literally is the most frustrating thing. So then at that point, I'm like, okay, so all I can do is for the next hour and a half I'm getting ready, I'm going to charge my phone. And then I got to get going with my day or I got to leave. I got to go. And it's so frustrating. Then you're like doing the like low battery fight for the rest of your day. Like you're on low power mode.
The worst.
It's like what you have to normally do at like 8:00 at night. I'm now doing for the entire day.
Yep.
And
one of the worst feelings is when you get to like the 20% notification and it's like 2 p.m.
The worst.
Nothing
Also,
makes me feel like a low life more than when my phone battery is about to die and it's like before 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Also a sign you've probably been on TikTok too much before 3 o'clock.
Well, for sure. Yeah. Just a sign you've been on your phone in general.
For sure.
Way too much.
And so this is what's frustrating though about my phone not working is I literally pay at T-Mobile like this $10 a month that includes like insurance if I lose my phone.
Yep.
And it also includes like Apple Care. Like I can just take my phone in and go get it fixed.
Yeah.
And what's so frustrating is every time it happens, I'm like, Dylan, like just go get your phone fixed, bro.
Yeah, you've already paid for it.
Like just go take it in. And for some reason, I keep procrastinating on taking my phone in. And I know at the end of the day, I have to get my phone fixed. I'm gonna have to pay whatever charge they make me pay, even though I still I pay the $10 a month.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna have to do it, but I still keep procrastinating and waiting to do it. I think in life, there's a lot of times that there's things that we know we have to do, but for some reason we just keep holding off from doing it.
That's great.
And it's delaying in the inevitable. It's knowing that I have to go for this. I have to achieve this. I have to get this thing done. But yet for some reason, we don't go and do it. So that's kind of going to be the conversation about this on this podcast today, is talking about things in life that for some reason we haven't done it yet, or we wait to do it. Why do you think it's so easy for us as humans to delay what needs to be done?
Ooh, that's such a loaded question. I think for multiple reasons, going back to the chores we drafted, right? It's like, I don't think it was a coincidence even that there was so many differences in how we drafted.
Yeah.
Right. You said one chore that you hated to do, and I was like, I love doing that chore. There's just something about those chores that is an experience that we want to avoid.
Yeah.
For some reason. So I think we put things off in life. For one, I think it's because we're scared of some things. I know things that I've put off that I procrastinated on. It's because I'm scared of them. I think there is even a security in avoidance that happens. It's like, well, I would just rather avoid this situation than having to deal with it. And the longer that I don't deal with it, the more secure that I feel, because it's just eventually going to go away.
Yeah.
Which has never happened for anybody. So I think that that's such a loaded question, because there's so many things. It's like, one day there's something that I could want to avoid.
Yeah.
But the next day I have no problem confronting.
Wow.
But it's just in that moment, I'm scared to what it could be, or I actually feel more peace in avoiding it than actually confronting it. And so our natural ability is to go do what's going to make us feel more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Everyone likes to be comfortable. So what's going to make me be more comfortable? Either knowing that I'm sitting on the couch watching my TV show, or am I going to find more comfort in knowing that the dishes are done? So do I sacrifice in the moment watching this TV show sitting on the couch to go do the dishes, to then feel a piece of everything's done, the dishes are done? Or do I just want to continue to live in that moment of I'm not fully comfortable, but avoiding what's happening in the kitchen is going to kind of help me just sit on the couch in the moment, if that makes any sense at all.
Absolutely. And you're talking about the dishes, which is simple, but I think we do this the most when it comes to like the bigger things in life.
Totally.
Right? Like all of a sudden we recognize that like I have this habit, or I have this even, let's say, addiction, or I have this thing that is going on. And for some reason, I just am choosing to not address it, because I know it's going to be painful, because I know it's going to be hard work, because I know it's going to maybe be a bit of a grind, because I'm maybe going to have to open up to some people about how I'm really doing. And like, it's just sometimes easier to suppress that kind of stuff.
By the way, I'm extremely guilty of this. And I'm not a person that like avoids conflict or conversation or anything. But when it comes to facing consequences, that's what I procrastinate like nobody's business.
Wow.
Like, I know if I have done something wrong and there's a consequence of it. I was the guy growing up, and it took me a long time to learn this lesson. If I got a speeding ticket, I didn't pay a speeding ticket for years, because I just kind of thought, well, if I avoid it, I had a dumb ignorance, was if I just avoid it, it's eventually going to go away.
Wow.
I would rather hope that it goes away than pay the $142 speeding ticket that I got, rather than 6 years later when collections is calling me every other day and that speeding ticket's turned into $1,000, and now I'm a year into marriage and she's like, what are you doing not answering this phone call? This is very important.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this has been happening forever. It's like, no, you need to actually face the fact that an action that you made, a decision you made, has a consequence to it, and you actually need to face that consequence. You can no longer put off, you can no longer avoid that consequence. You have to face that reality and handle that situation.
Absolutely. It's amazing how if we aren't careful, we'll let our emotions just drive our decision making.
For sure.
You look at something like that and all of a sudden it's like that's not a practical decision at all.
Yeah.
Like practically you'd be like, okay, I just got to deal with this. I just got to answer the phone. I just got to like pay a bill. It's amazing how your emotions can take control. When you look at like the idea of not doing things that you're supposed to, there's just there's this practical, just how to gotta get it done, but yet our emotions can drive us. How do you think we can even like avoid being driven by our emotions and be driven by what we know maybe needs to be done? What we talk about on this podcast a lot is like being a leader. Part of being a leader is owning sometimes the like ugly parts of leadership, owning sometimes like maybe like ugly parts of life. And by ugly, I mean just like sometimes the things that aren't like the like most fun to get done.
Yep.
But our emotions maybe drive us to avoid that. How can we maybe get in control of our emotions more, would you say?
I think having the maturity to sacrifice today for tomorrow. And that's a lesson that I have had to learn, and it's taken me 29 years to learn, and I'm still learning.
And what do you mean by that? Would you go into that more?
Being okay with, you know what, I'm going to take a moment, a day, a month, a year even, to just, I don't want to say take it on the chin because that sounds so negative, but just like to just embrace maybe the negativity of this moment, to sacrifice my pleasure right now to make sure that my tomorrow, my future, is no longer affected by this thing that I'm facing. Because I can either put this off and it becomes a thing for the rest of my life, or I can handle it today and it is no longer a thing for my tomorrow.
That's so good.
And to have the maturity to go, you know what? This financial situation that I'm facing, it may suck, but I'm going to tackle this right now.
Yes.
I'm going to save so I can tackle this. I'm going to sacrifice nights out. I'm going to sacrifice maybe my living situation so that I can handle this. Maybe it's a relational thing. Maybe it's an addiction thing. Maybe it's I think for a lot of guys, if I can even go there and I'm feeling like I should, of like, maybe it's a porn thing. Maybe right now at the age of 23 years old, you grab somebody and say, hey, I'm catching myself doing this consistently. I feel like I'm getting pulled this way. And I've tried, I can't break this thing. Maybe sacrifice your comfort in that relationship and in your life for that week or month so that down the road in your life, that thing is totally taken care of. And it's funny when we talk about procrastination, and this episode's very simple. It's all about just helping you think through what are you putting off. That's our main goal. And if you haven't picked up on that yet, let me make it very clear. We have one purpose of this: to help you think right now in your life, with you listening, with you watching, what are you putting off right now?
Yep.
And if we can encourage you, address that thing that you are putting off.
Don't say I'll get to that later.
Don't say I will get to that later. That is not a lifestyle that you want to get to. And I'm speaking as a 29-year-old dude that has said that to way too many things in his life. And I will tell you what, if I could go back multiple times and just nip some things in the butt, take them face on, and no longer procrastinate. When we talk about procrastinating, it's so funny to think about chores and homework and kind of all the funny things.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the major issues of life.
For sure.
It's like I can actually not address that and keep living the lifestyle that I want to live right now. Well, at some point, that thing is going to catch up with you. If you want to believe it or not, that thing is going to bite you in the butt. If I could pull my pants down right now, you would see, hypothetically.
Hold on, what? If I could pull my pants down right now.
If I could hypothetically pull my pants down, you would see a lot of bite marks on my butt cheeks. Hypothetically. If I could hypothetically pull my pants down, you would see a lot of bite marks on my butt cheeks because I have been bitten in the butt with so many different things that I have just avoided in life because I didn't want to address the hard situation because I thought it would just go away.
Yes.
Nothing goes away. Not even magic erasers fully disappear.
Yeah, bro, that's so good. And oh man, there's so many different ways we can go.
For sure.
I was thinking about this as you were talking is one of the things that a lot of people end up going to sometimes, I wouldn't say it's like a last resort, but like for some reason, going to a therapist or going to counseling is like this, like almost like you admitted
rock bottom.
Like I've lost, I'm the worst.
Yep.
I have to go to counseling. I don't want to tell anyone. I'm going to make it a secret. But do you know what's like unreal is every person I've talked to in my life personally, at least, that's gone to counseling, gone to therapy, has always come out saying, I don't know why I didn't do that sooner.
Me, I was at a rock bottom moment in my life that forced me to go to counseling and a therapist. And we went every week for months. And it was the greatest thing I've ever done for me. Are the therapists this end all be all? Not at all. But they just force you and give you a space to have conversation and address things
Exactly.
that you have to address to move forward in life.
And that's why I use that as an example, because typically a counselor or a therapist is getting the things out of you that you just held in.
Yep.
And we're like, and basically exactly what this episode is titled, I will get to that later. Or you maybe like things that you've suppressed, things that because you've said, I will get to that later so many times, you've actually forgot it's there, but it's still affecting you.
When I was in counseling, she actually said this. She said, and I still talk to this counselor as much as we can these days, but she said, the only way you move forward is going backwards. She's like, you have to go backwards to address the thing that is affecting your forward.
Wow.
How brilliant of a concept is that? But I would have never had to get that bit of advice. And I would have never had to gone through those very painful months and action steps if I just acknowledged what was in front of me and taken care of it right away.
Absolutely.
I would not have had to gone backwards if I just continued moving forward at those moments.
No doubt.
I avoided, and I just kept putting it off. Think about the fact that if I would have just even had those counselor moments 2 years before I found myself there, that would have been an entire different situation and year for me. So let's maybe save ourselves and have the maturity. I think this really all comes down to maturity, to be totally honest with you. Have the maturity to be aware of, you know what? I'm not going to have to go backwards to move forward. I'm just going to choose to not move forward until I address this.
Wow.
I'm going to choose actually right now to not put this off. I'll get to it later, but just choose. I actually don't have a later until this is taken care of. Like, let's just even kind of live lives to where we can pause life, if you will, to have the big enough perspective to realize there's certain things that I don't have a later, I don't have a future until this is done.
Yeah.
I cannot move forward with my life currently until I address some of these relationship patterns I find myself in. I cannot move forward until I address this lying thing that I have, this little dumb thing. I cannot move forward until I realize my financial decisions are awful. I'm not a good saver. I need to address this. I can't move forward until I realize I keep looking at this one website. I can't move forward until I keep, and I can use example after example, but just to be the people that realize, that live a life, and I hope that you hear my passion of someone that, again, hypothetically been bitten in the butt of like, let's just address and have the maturity to say, I have something in front of me that I can't move on until I address this. And if you do, it's fake. It's a false sense of forward if you move on without addressing it.
I couldn't agree more.
False sense of forward. Brilliant line.
That is a brilliant line.
Cody, write that down. Like, just it's like he has nowhere to write,
As you were even talking, I was thinking about
the rant that I went on. I apologize.
No, bro, everything you're saying is so good, and I just like co-sign. I just like couldn't agree more.
I just have been there. Like, my life is literally marked by this episode. And I didn't even think about it when we said we were going to talk about this. But as we were going, I was like, oh my God, this is my life story. I've avoided. That has got me in some shit.
Yeah.
Because of my avoidance of the problem or the thing that is hard. I avoid hard.
And here's the thing. That's not going to go away.
Not going to go away.
End of the day, hard things in our life are not going to go away.
Yep.
Mistakes are going to continue to be made.
Yep.
And I think for us just to be willing to see those things and put them out in the open and say, I'm going to address this now. For me, even within my current role that I have, there is something that I saw that I was like, do you know what? I really want to see this as an opportunity, as a problem, as even a mistake. I would go as far to say, and say, hey, we are going to work on this, because I refuse to get to 40 years old and look back and go, man, I saw that thing when I was 28 and I knew we needed to do something, but I didn't actually put action steps and priorities and goals and things in place that would allow me to get to where we needed to go.
Yep.
And oftentimes it just starts with putting one foot in front of the other. But so many times we're just afraid to even take that first step. And I think as we even conclude this conversation, to ask everybody, and maybe we'll make this our as you leave.
Love it.
Is as you leave, I think everybody right now has that one thing in your mind that you are thinking, this is the thing I can't put off anymore. It's a conversation I can't put off. It's a thing that I've been struggling with that I can't just like push off to the side anymore. There's something that I need to address now. So our as you leave, as you get done listening to this podcast, I want to ask every person listening, what's the next step that you're going to take?
Ooh, great.
Not what's the finish line.
Yeah.
The finish line is the thing that I think makes us all keep pushing it off to the side, because it seems so far off in the distance. So not what's the finish line, what's the one step that you need to take? Who's the one person that you need to talk to? We mentioned counseling and therapy. Maybe it's even something like that.
Totally.
Is it something within your workplace that you now need to even change and prioritize the hours of your week and what they go to? Is there conversations that you need to have with a spouse or a significant other? What is it that you've been putting off that you know you now need to take care of? And what's the first step that you're going to take?
I think that's beautiful and brilliant. And I want to have just a very few seconds of very clear honesty. I'm 29 years old. I turned 30 in 3 months. Mm-hmm. Can't wait. I was scared. Now I can't wait. I'm facing things at 29, almost 30 today in my everyday life that if I would have addressed it 20, 21, 22, 23, I would not be dealing with today.
Yep.
But because I made the very immature decision then to not deal with it, 7 to 10 years later, I am still part of my everyday life is still dealing with situations from my 20 to 23-year-old life that I turned a cheek to because I just simply thought it would go away.
Yep, absolutely. And as you're listening, I hope you hear our hearts. We all got our stuff that we're working on.
For sure.
I got stuff I'm working on. I got conversations I'm having with my wife consistently, with my friends consistently. I think, Braylon, you're the same way. And part of us even doing this podcast is not to ever come from a position of like, we've got this figured out, but that we're like, do you know what? We're all on a journey together.
Yep.
And
yes, we are.
And I think we all got those things in our life that we would look at and be like, man, am I proud of that? Probably not.
And if nothing's come to your mind yet, I would maybe even encourage you at the very end of this podcast, maybe find the closest person to you and just ask yourself, or even your parents. Usually parents can have a level of perspective that we don't, or just, whoever's close to you. Hey, am I missing anything?
Yep.
Am I avoiding anything?
Absolutely.
Am I procrastinating any major thing in my life? And I would hope that you could search yourself. So for some of us, maybe 3 minutes into this podcast, something came to your mind. 10 minutes in, something came to your mind. I don't know how long we've talked for. 29 minutes in, something's come to your mind. And if we're at the point now that we're ending and nothing's come to your mind, really search yourself and look through your life of like, what is that thing that I've put off? What is the area that I'm not addressing? What can I face? Maybe involve somebody else even to help you see that potentially even blind spot that you have, because addressing it now will always, always, always be the best move for your future.
That's
sacrificing your today will always make your tomorrow better.
Come on, that's so good. So as you leave, just know we love you. We're all in this together. Let's find that first step so we don't have to keep putting off for tomorrow what should be handled today. We love you a ton. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.